Here's a nice deal. I'm trying to set the RF bias on this thing, and I'll go and measure it, and there's no damn voltage there. And I dick around with this and dick around with this. Watch the filaments come on this tube when I wiggle this tube. There they go. And you'll see the bias voltage will come up here in a minute. If I good. Should climb up to 70 volts here in a minute. So there we are. I've resoldered all these tube pins. I've dicked around with it, and there's still a problem here. You pull a tube out part way and bend it one way or another, and maybe it'll go or not. So this is the kind of goofy stuff that you'll find when you're going through an old transmitter like this. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but it's definitely a problem with the connection to the filament. So we'll look at the way the one side of the filaments is grounded, and then there's a, so we'll look at that and see if that's what it is. Well, sometimes the gods, radio gods, smile on you, and sometimes they don't. Did all the repairs, or all the things on the checklist, and tested the power supplies, and they were fine, and burned it in on the bench with the low voltage supply and the filaments on for many hours yesterday. No overheating, nothing bad happening. But I could not get the VFO to work, and I thought that I wasn't able to get the crystal oscillator to work, but it turns out I didn't have the crystals in the socket correctly. You have to read the pin numbers upside down and backwards to figure out how to put the crystals in. But anyway, here we have it going with 40 meter crystal. And if you can read the, whoops, what happened? There we go. Anyway, you can see that the exciter tuning is working as it should. The drive control is working as it should. Oodles of grid drive. So, and you can read the multiplier stage is working, or the buffer stage, but we can't seem to read any oscillator current. I don't know why. But anyway, it's all tuning fine. Plenty of drive, and this is 40 meters, and I'm going to stop that thing for a minute. Won't retune the receiver, but on 80 meters with the right crystal, it's also working properly with lots of good drive. And there's the 40 meter, there's the 80 meter crystal. Go back to 40 meters, and there it is. So, what we proved is that the crystal oscillator, which is the buffer for the VFO, and the multiplier driver stages, the 6CL6 and the 5763, are working fine, tuning fine, no problems there. So the problem we have with the VFO, now I pulled the tube out and measured the plate voltage on the 6AU 6 oscillator tube, and we got 300 and some volts there. What do we got? Can't read it myself. 348 volts on the plate, that's a lot. 145 on the screen, that's a lot, but it wasn't oscillating and it wasn't under load. And not measuring any cathode voltage and not measuring any grid voltage. If it was oscillating, the grid voltage should be a negative voltage, I don't know, around 5 or 10 volts, something like that. So clearly we've got a VFO problem, and you will remember it is a mechanical nightmare. So how we're going to get in there and make that work, I haven't got a clue. Going to have to study more about the VFO construction. But at any rate, what this means is that for now I can go ahead and set the bias for the finals, try to adjust the keyer, set the mod bias, test the transmitter in the CW mode, and if that's all working right, it's making normal power, then I can test the modulator. So anyway, 3 steps ahead, 1 step back. I have no idea what it's going to take to fix this VFO. I just know they're not my strong point. But there's some voltages on this terminal strip here that I can measure, see if those are right. I think they probably will be. But unfortunately, there's a band switch inside the VFO. On the other side of this thing is a right angle drive. There's a switch inside the VFO, and this cover can come off, and I can try to clean those contacts on that switch and try to figure out what's going on. But at least we know that the rest of the RF string is working. So I think we'll go ahead and set the bias values and put it on the dummy load and attempt to load it up in the CW mode and see if the rest of it's working.